get your most financially savvy
Financial
friend.
night, boys.
Yeah, and just sit there and go, okay, this is how we're going to budget.
Dude, make it fun. Pretend you're in Wolf of Wall Street, but you're just planning your budget.
That's right. Wear a bunch of suits with the pants that go way up high and beat on your chest.
Bro, budgeting night.
And do copious amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
Quaaludes.
But make sure your budget accounts for
the Quaaludes.
The Quaaludes and the cocaine.
Who is my daddy and what does he do?
Daddy, chill.
All right, here we go. Listen, it's tax return time. Money is flowing a little bit more freely for people, and even though economically things are harder,
and you get it all at once too.
Yeah, gas is up.
They should definitely let people pick like a payment plan. Like,
I would take a payment plan every time.
Just so you can. Or you can just learn to maybe manage your money better, and you won't have to.
That's right. Well, and a big part of that is not giving into impulse. And that's a big problem that people with ADHD struggle with, and that is what we're talking about today. Oh, it all comes full circle, doesn't it, Phil?
Hell yeah, let's talk about something that's extremely stressful. Let's go.
That's right. By the way, welcome to the Dad Voice Podcast. I'm Cole.
I'm Phil.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to be here. Today, we're talking about money, which is a weird thing because neither of us are good with it. And let me preface this whole episode by saying we're not giving financial advice. We're giving tips on how to manage your financial life with ADHD. Okay, That's what this is about. This is not about, hey, we're going to teach you how to become millionaires, because we're not millionaires. Why the fuck would you listen to us? But we are going to try to give you some advice that we have found helpful for us that will help, just kind of get around some of those obstacles. Impulse control is a big thing. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
it's more about knowing why you do those things.
Right, exactly. And I wanted to talk about it because, I'm just... Anybody who's watched has seen the visible upgrades we've made, which, to be fair, we haven't spent as much money as I was expecting to spend on this podcast so far, which is good. We will end up spending more, and that's a thing about it. That thought started me rolling down a hill, and I thought about all the things, that and we're sitting here, my wife and I are trying to plan our vacation. We're starting to, we have to save money. It all just kind of piled up, and I was like, that has got to be something, because we talk about money all the time, and it's got to be something that other ADHD people struggle with. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because I know that money is, especially
it's the big thing is, it's always like, future me is a millionaire, future me is successful, future me has got his shit together, so I'm going to kick that down the road.
Right. And also the millennials and...
Kick that credit card down the road, because this is an investment, dude. The Guitar Center credit card with the mics, but we're working on something, and we've kept working on it.
Yeah.
We're talking about other things where, you're like, I'll make use of this later on.
Well, and I think there's
when I'm in my handy dad era, I bought this expensive saw.
Right. That's
I'm definitely gonna have to saw something.
The dopamine to dollar exchange, right? It gives you that, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So I'm buying this thing knowing I'm gonna get into this scenario, like you said, a saw. I'm going to start being handy. So I'm buying a table saw.
This cheap mass-produced saw is going to turn me into the handy guy.
That's right.
That's it.
It might come in handy later on, but when you buy it, you probably didn't need it, right? So you having a saw, definitely beneficial. Did you need it when you bought it? Probably not.
No.
We have been doing the podcast. We had our HyperX Quadcast mics. Did we need to upgrade the mics immediately? No. But has the sound quality improved 100%? Yeah, for sure. And for me, I've already said this on the podcast before, but I'm a treat guy, right? I live for my pleasures. My love language is also gift giving. So I care for the people I love with gift giving. I don't know if that's right. Is your love language how you prefer to be loved or how you prefer to love?
I think because my wife's is gift giving, and that's the thing I'm worst at.
Oh, okay. So it's how you prefer to be loved.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I don't know.
Mine's words of affirmation, 100%.
I like getting gifts. To be honest, though, like I'm more of a physical touch. I think that's But anyways, I love to give gifts. It makes me feel good. So I love to spoil my wife, and she loves to be spoiled. Like, fucking duh. That's why the one car we have that works right now is her car.
That's why it's funny as fuck watching you get out of it.
Yeah,
it was not made for you.
No. It's definitely her car. But
if we swapped cars, because I'm in my dad's truck right now, if we did that, then
it would make sense. Yeah. No, and I mean, when we first, up until like 2-3 years ago, she didn't know how to drive, and the deal was, I get you the car you want, and you learn how to drive, because we had 2 kids. And it just wasn't going to work with one of us knowing how to drive and having one car. So I'd be having to take her to work and everything. It just wasn't. So she learned how to drive, and she kicked ass, and she's amazing. And if this is the one episode you decide to watch, honey, I'm super proud of you. Always will be. It was totally worth it.
Thank you for letting Cole be a passenger princess.
Thank you for letting me be a passenger princess.
It's his dream come true. He's always wanted to.
It's got to be even funnier, though, to see me beside her in a fucking Nissan Kicks. And I'm like,
you're getting driven around.
And she's like,
you're like a fucking UFC fighter getting driven around by your secretary or something.
That car purchase was an impulse buy. Like, we had a Honda Insight.
How did you somehow have an even smaller car before that?
I liked it because it was a hybrid.
Yeah.
And so I bought that because at first our main focus was fuel efficiency, because I was driving an hour away for work and I had to work in the office every day. So, yeah, well, we're back. The ghost of the treehouse turned the fan on.
Yeah, this has happened more than once with some of the things in here.
I'm pretty sure it's happened in the middle of episodes, too, where we just kind of disregarded it, because I've noticed the shift in sound. And, especially when you're editing, you can hear.
Oh, that's that ADHD hyperfocus.
Yeah. So,
all right, that was scary. What's up?
Anyways, so we're going to hit a few things, hopefully give some decent tips. A few things we're going to hit on today are, like you were talking about, that dad angle of like, oh, I'm justifying this purchase because it's, the saw. Yeah, the saw. You
gotta become the guy. Before you buy the thing.
Right.
It doesn't make you. The suit doesn't make the man or whatever.
The bank account shame spiral.
Yeah,
loop,
it's tough.
Where you don't want to look at your bank account because it looks rough.
Yeah.
And then,
but you're like, boy, do I have to?
Yeah, and so you ignore it until you have to, and then it all just kind of falls apart. And then like time blindness and compounding interest and it's what you just said. Like, future me's a millionaire. I'll worry about that later, and it did it again. So, all right, had another spooky fan moment, but we're back again. So I think that. The main thing here is managing your money with ADHD. It's not about having more willpower. It's about having better fences. So you got to stop worrying about being better and start just building your world around you to stop allowing as much impulsive. Yeah,
stop trying to brute force every problem.
And
you got to set some systems up.
Yeah, that's the
habits, systems.
The main guiding thought to this episode. Because again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I don't have money. So
am I going to go home and take this advice? Probably not. But at least someone else can hear it.
Right. And maybe they will take it, because maybe they're in a point where they don't have a choice. We haven't gotten that far yet, but we will soon.
I'm about there.
Gas is fucking exploding. Dude, it costs $100 to fill up to get my wife an oil change now.
Yeah,
$100 fucking dollars. Thank you, President Trump, for your day one gas price decreases.
I did that.
I did that. And groceries are going to go up now because it costs more money to move everything around. So congrats on that, too. I hope you guys over on the map.
Yes, I am in the industry where we move things around.
That's right.
And it's not good.
Yeah, you know firsthand. We'll go ahead and go right into the dopamine to dollar exchange a little more in detail, and then we'll get into the bank account shame loop and everything. But like, I'm really bad with the dopamine to dollar thing, and what I mean when I say that is like I will buy shit that makes me feel good, like that, like it
Oh yeah.
you know, I have workout clothes? Yes. I have a bunch of ratty band tees with the sleeves cut off that do just fine for when I'm going to the gym to lift. However, did I buy a whole new workout wardrobe? Just about, yeah, because it made me feel better. But there's always going to be a but angle on those things. So it's going to be that one thing that you can justify the whole thing with by saying I feel better, like I work out better, the clothes fit better.
I was going to say it's like the opposite of this, I guess, devil's advocate a little bit. But what if sometimes when you do buy the thing before you become the person, I wonder how often that actually works out. Like maybe like 15% of the time. Like
this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it does work out. We've spent, you know, I mean, I say that, but like when we first started, the only money we really spent was you bought $100 microphone.
Yeah.
And we use those microphones up until just recently.
Yeah.
But we weren't shy about, okay, we need to improve this. Let's put some money into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other resources that we've had have been granted to us through help or, you know, advice. We have free software that we use. Like a lot of this stuff has been conveniently
and I think
accessible.
Something about liking what we're doing too has helped me not have the urge to mismanage my money with doing this, because
Right.
I could very easily blow money on, you know, in-app advertising, all that stuff. But like I've been very good about it because I think it's because my brain knows I enjoy doing this and that I'm going to be doing everything I can outside of money also. So I don't feel like I have to like throw money at it to save it, because like we're just consistently working. And I think that's, you know,
Yeah.
maybe like something before you throw money at it. So
Right.
I guess that would be the thing.
That's exactly, you know, the way to look at things like that. I think that the biggest obstacle here is, again, like I see people do it with the gym a lot. I'll see people that come into the gym and I act like obviously you look at me and you don't see someone who has been working out for years and years, but I've been in and out of the gym my whole life, but I've been really consistent again lately since I've been able to recover pretty successfully from my back injury. And you see it. Like I just started a membership at a new gym that opened up in our city, and I saw it, you know, the initial kick in, and you can tell people come in and they're like gung-ho about it and they're like ready to go, and then you just stop seeing them after a while.
Yeah, they got that newbie energy.
And
Yeah.
that's ADHD all the time, is you come up with a million, like, dude, I've talked about it before. I have like 20 decks of playing cards because I get into sleight of hand card magic. It's just a fun thing for me.
That initial excitement is why you do stuff, because your brain's craving that initial excitement
Right.
all the time, that feeling. So
And-
then when it stops giving you that initial excitement, you're like, eh.
Yeah.
And then you're like, God damn it, I just blew a lot of money on this hobby. So you feel even worse and you spiral.
Right. And, you know, like luckily playing cards pretty cheap. I do have a bunch of cards. I play with them a lot. It's one of those things where you learn a trick and then you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. You learn another trick. You're like, all right, this is cool. My kids, my oldest, I can impress the shit out of him. So it kind of pans out in my head. But there's other things that I've bought. Like I bought my kid a VR headset, and I've locked it down pretty tightly, which means that he's really restricted in what he can do. And I bought it for him for his birthday, I think, or maybe it was Christmas the year before this last one. So either way, I bought it for a big event, and he was excited about it, but now he hasn't touched it. And I realized that I just impulsively was like, boom, this will make me feel like a really cool dad, so I'm going to do this.
And that was more for you.
Yeah, and realized
you wanted to be the dad with a kid who had a VR headset.
Really, that's what it is, yeah. I also, like, when he was, like, 4 years old, I bought a PS5. And that one I was more willing to
Dog, that was just straight up
that
for
was
you.
for me, yeah. But at the same time...
I wouldn't let a 4-year-old touch a PS5.
Well, he was like, I want to play Minecraft. And it was like, okay, either put Minecraft on my PC or put it on a console.
Yeah.
We had a PS4. I could have done it. But I was like, oh, but the PS5 is out. We got a deal. I think it was right around tax time.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, it had to have been closer to the summer. I must have hit like a bonus or something. But
dude, I missed the boat this tax time with getting a Switch too, because we had other stuff we had to pay for. I was like, damn it, man.
I'm waiting.
I thought it was going to be the moment that aligned. But it just wasn't.
On the Switch 2 Lite, because I know that they're going to come up with some variation of that. My Switch Lite is hanging on for dear life, so I'm hoping that they do that soon, and then I can just get a Switch 2 Lite. Because
I feel like if it's hanging on for dear life, you might just want to get the Switch Heavy.
Yeah, it's so I've had that thing for forever, and
Nintendo's going to send like a death squad after me now for criticizing a future Lite console. They're going to sue our podcast.
Yeah. What are they going to take? Our microphones? It'll be fine. We got backups. So, I do shit like that all the time. Just want to be a cool dad. The PlayStation, I'll admit, was more for me than him. But I was like, oh, but he's going to have the console, like the most relevant console.
Yeah.
And that was a thing that I didn't get to have all the time, especially after my parents' divorce. I didn't get to have that. And so my friends were like, yeah, I got a new Xbox 360 or Xbox One or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm still on PS3.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because my mom didn't give a shit, but my dad, like, he actually supported our video games and stuff. Like, he played video games with us, but he couldn't afford it. Like, he was now divorced. And then this was like in the period between my mother and my stepmother, and he was just trying to get it together, Yeah. And so I don't fault him for that. It's never your parents' fault when it's stuff like that.
Dad can't get you a PS4 or 5 right now. I'm finding myself.
Right.
Just let me find myself.
And my dad, by the way, is great with money, which is wild because my dad.
That's why he didn't get you a PS5.
Right. My dad has turned absolutely nothing into enough to retire on successfully. And some of it was help from his father, who's great with money, but they came from nothing, like dirt. And his father held the same philosophy that he holds, which is you can have my shit when I'm dead, but I'm not giving you anything because that's not how you learn to be responsible. And sure as fuck, like, he has helped my brother. He put my brother in touch with the lady that deals with his mortgage so that my brother got a good deal, and he put a little bit of money.
Yeah, that's just classic family networking.
Yeah.
Everybody knows a guy.
But my brother had saved like $25,000. Okay.
Dude, that was all him.
Yeah. So my dad put 5 extra.
Your dad just basically Googled a name for him.
Yeah. And he put $5,000 more on there, which is fine. Like, I don't hold any resentment towards that at all. Like, my brother literally lived with my uncle on the bare minimum from like 18 to 22 or 23 when he bought his house, and saved every dollar he made.
And I think it's right that your brother was rewarded for saving money on his own too. Like,
right.
You want to reward that kind of behavior.
And I should be punished because I have not saved. Actually, that's not true. Every time I save money, something cataclysmic happens. I saved money. We had almost $8,000. I hurt my back.
Oh, yeah.
And we only needed about 10 to get a good down payment on. We were going to do one of those true homes, and they wanted 10
You just had to get the diamond encrusted pimp chain.
Yeah.
Or pimp cane.
Yeah. No, the 8,000 went to extra physical therapy that the insurance wasn't going to pay fully for and stuff like that. And also, like, $20,000 I think is the cap of medical debt before it starts to hit your credit. So I had to keep us under that number.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Oh, also on top of that, on top of the back injury psoriasis, I got diagnosed with psoriasis and I had to jump through a bunch of hoops. I had to take a bunch of blood work tests because I got told that I tested positive for tuberculosis, which is dormant.
Yeah, that sounds expensive.
Had to go through all that, and I still haven't even been able to get the injectable treatment for Skyrizi. It's like $1,700 an injection, and it's like every 6 months or 4 months, I think.
Buddy, you already have enough Riz as it is.
Thanks, buddy. Then there's also things like that which you can't really fight.
You can't
like that.
You can't plan for them, but you can be prepared for them.
You can be prepared, and luckily I did have some money saved up, but it wasn't enough to like keep us all right. And the one mistake that we made that I will tell people right now flat out is, and this will probably roll into kind of the next 2 points, is my wife and I, we were told you got to have credit. You got to have lines of credit open. You have to have it to build good credit, to get good credit, to get a house. You need lines of credit open. And we accepted any old fucking interest rate. We had like 4 cards with 30% interest. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Which right now we're in a debt consolidation program. That's why, because we made bad decisions because we were underinformed. But we were told, you got to get credit. You got to open these lines of credit. And, that's what we were focused on is, okay, open lines of credit, use these lines of credit, build up a credit score. And the problem is, the real way you should approach this is always build up a savings first. Even if you're in credit card debt, let yourself pay the bare minimum payment, build up savings first, because the one thing that I learned that has fucked us in the long run is if you don't have any money saved up and an emergency comes up, you have to use your credit cards. And when you have to use those credit cards, now they're all maxed out, which is why we're in a debt consolidation program, because we maxed out our credit cards on emergencies and we didn't have anything else left to do. Like, that was it. We didn't have a nest egg. We didn't have a fallback. And it's hard as fuck to save money right now, especially, again, we're making this episode as the prices of everything are shooting up like in real time. We're watching them just go right up.
Yep.
And that's the problem.
If any time to lock it in, it's right now.
Yeah, that's the problem is like you are either in a dire economic straits or you're not prepared when you're not in dire economic straits to prepare for those. And the whole angle of like, that's where it kind of plays into that shame spiral of that shame spending loop. You get that dopamine from spending, you look at your bank account, you feel bad. How do you make yourself feel better? Spend more money.
Yeah.
And it's an instant gratification thing. We'll go into one of the first tips right here, I think, because we don't have to wait to the end to give the advice, but the cart cooldown rule. Like, give yourself a minute.
What does that mean? Like the shopping cart online?
Yeah. Like, so never buy something that you don't absolutely need in the same session you found it. And if you go onto my Amazon app, you'll see what I mean exactly, because I have a ton of stuff in my cart right now. I haven't bought any of it because I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I actually need out of this?
It's like $850,000 worth of Destiny memorabilia.
No, I'm done with Destiny memorabilia until they give me something to want to remember.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll have to do another Why is Cole So Jaded About Bungie and Destiny episode soon.
Yeah, I got to bring back the You're a Bungie Cuck joke too.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
Honestly, that's got to be a t-shirt at some point. The Bungie Cuck. Yeah, so a million different variations of grips for, lifting, or there's like random monitor in there because I noticed like my monitor's been acting kind of funny once or twice a year. So I'm like, all right, time to prepare for a new monitor or some shit like that. And it's all just random stuff, but I never buy it on that first initial buy. You add it to the cart, close out the app.
Yeah, you're like, I'm preparing for the initial preparation of my monitor going out by just buying a fucking new one right now and just getting rid of the one I have.
Right, the perfectly good one that I have. Yeah, and the way to combat that is just Add it to your cart. If you want it, add it to your cart.
That way you won't feel like you won't forget it too. And you're like, well, maybe I got to buy it now because I know what I'm going to use it for right now. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then that's another way to approach this is you add it to your cart, give yourself 24 to 48 hours. First off, if you still have the money in 48 hours, then you can go and look back at it and go, first off, do I remember what I needed this for?
Yeah.
If not, you don't need it that bad. So just get rid of it. If you do remember it, do you still really need it as badly as you needed it 48 hours ago? If so, go for it. If not...
I had a rough day at work. I need it worse now.
If not, determine what you actually needed it for and determine...
then go touch grass.
Yeah, do you have the funding now? Or if not, is it something that can wait? For me, I have to do that with guns all the time. Do I need more guns? I have one home defense. It's not a great gun. And I have...
You just expose yourself as vulnerable.
I have some stuff at my dad's house and stuff. Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. You come into my house, I'll show you what a not great gun can do. It's fine. I know how to shoot it. That's all that matters.
It's not about the size. It's about the motion of the ocean.
It's about the hollow points is what it's about. So...
Yeah, my points are hollow too.
But...
Don't need those bullets going through to anybody but you, buddy.
That's right.
I'll leave the bystanders out of this.
Well, hopefully there's no bystanders in my house either, but you know.
Well, what if we become famous and there's always paparazzi outside of our house and then we got to do that thing where you wake up in the middle of the night and start shooting because you think it's an intruder? Sorry, that was a derailment.
I don't sympathize with the paparazzi, so they had it coming. Anyways, yeah, derailed. That's just kind of my advice for
I just don't like Italian words.
Or Lady Gaga songs.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
So that is the advice for that, but it does kind of make me think of the next point, which is the time blindness. And you made the point at the beginning that just really kind of you're always in that mindset of, oh, future me is a millionaire. Future me doesn't have to worry about this shit. And future you is going to be struggling if you don't figure it out.
Yeah,
now.
And future you is also you right now. Future you is also you right now dealing with the shit that you were putting off on future you. So,
right. And that's...
Develop a sense of empathy.
Perfect example is what I was just talking about, my credit score. Because... old me was like, fuck it. I'll take a 30% interest rate and I just won't use it for anything but socks. And then I had over a span of 5 years, it was just 4 injuries that I had that were just super fucked up, messed me up real bad. One of them was the one we talked about where I got a hemorrhage, a hematoma on the side and blood pooled in my liver. The other was my initial back injury.
You reached backwards.
Yeah. Well, no.
And destroyed yourself.
If you've ever worked in a grocery store and you've been into one of the walk-in freezers with the slide-in freezer doors, one of the grocery stores I worked at had one of those doors, and it was off the track, and one of the associates had moved it, and they flung it a little bit, and it was about to fall on them. So I thought... I can be an Avenger and just jumped in between them and it almost pulled my arm out of socket, messed up my back real bad. I was...
That's why you let natural selection take its course.
I was out of commission for a while. I should have just let him, if he dies kind of thing. Especially because then I got in trouble at work for doing it.
It put you on a villain arc to becoming a podcaster.
Yeah, that's how we're here. But no, you don't... I just want you, everybody listening, first off, let's take a minute. If you're still listening, if you're here with us, take a minute to like and subscribe or take a minute to follow us if you're listening on one of the podcast apps. And leave us a rating when you're done if you think this was useful. But I just want to take a minute, if you're ADHD, an ADHD dad, a spouse with, the spouse of someone with ADHD, a co-parent with someone with ADHD, we might be able to give you a little bit of information that you didn't have. I don't want to say we're going to give you good advice.
Infotainment.
Yes, infotainment. That's perfect. I don't want to say we're going to give you advice because we're not here to give life-changing advice. We're here to give tips on how we manage things, and maybe that'll help you. If it doesn't, let us know. That's fine. If it does, also let us know. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled program of,
Whatever the fuck we were talking
I
about.
already forgot. All right. Anyways, now that we got all that part out of the way, listen, I honestly forgot what I was saying beforehand, but we're getting towards the end, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, you did the call to action.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm trying to start doing that in the
Yeah.
middle so that at the end we don't miss out on any important thoughts.
Yeah.
But the two tips that I had left on our notes here, the no look kind of. I always use the word automation. That might be like a tech thing.
It's like no looky, no touchy.
Right. No look. You don't touch it. When most places, wherever you work, they should enable you to send your direct deposit to multiple accounts.
Yeah.
So if you open a savings account, you set up your direct deposit, most of your paycheck goes to your checking account. Set a little bit aside, even if it's $25-$50 a month.
Yeah, because if you can keep it out of your hands,
Right.
you're less likely to spend it.
Exactly.
Like, it's just about managing around it.
It is. And so you just start to pump a little bit of your paycheck. Kind of think about, okay, what can I afford to put away? For me right now, I've started doing it. It's $50 a paycheck. So that's $100 a month. Is it a ton? No.
It adds up.
But
when
it
you have
does.
ADHD, it's harder to think about the future in the long term.
Right. And
in that way.
if things come up, like I thought our rent was about to go up on us, so I was prepared to reduce the amount to 25. That way that extra $25 on rent checks, but it didn't go up, and so I'm keeping it 50. But, just be prepared for changes like that, and just make sure you know how to do stuff like that, and it shouldn't really be a problem. So yeah, just put money aside however you can. Even some people might not work that way the best, but if you have a spouse that's better with money, go, hey, we're splitting the bills. If your spouse, partner, whatever you prefer to call them, it doesn't matter. We're splitting the bills. Every paycheck, I'm going to give you $50. You put it somewhere where I can't access it. I can't see it. I've done that with my credit cards with my wife. My wife has my debit card. I have my card on Apple Pay. So if I really need to buy something, I can, like gas or something.
Yeah.
But not having that card is a major form of impulse control because I'm not just constantly like, all right, yeah, I got it. Here you go.
Yeah. Why'd they make it so easy and accessible if they didn't want me to spend? Come on, man.
Well, they do
It's so
want you to
easy. It's
spend.
just a piece of plastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you'd think it'd be easier being on your phone wherever you go, you can tap it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, no.
Dude, for some reason, my brain gets lazier. I find it easier to still pull out my wallet instead of doing Apple Pay.
Yep. And that, for some reason, is what saves me in those situations. But that line of thought leads me to the next part, which is, have your backup plan, your double, your second mind, not your double, but your second mind with you, your partner, a close friend, whatever, someone who's good with money, because not everybody has a partner, but someone who's good with money that you can sit down with and once a month have like, we're eating in, we're getting together and we're planning our finances. You can do that. Call it like a mini date night with your spouse. Call it night with the boys. Get your most financially savvy
Financial
friend.
night, boys.
Yeah, and just sit there and go, okay, this is how we're going to budget.
Dude,
things
make
out.
it fun. Pretend you're in Wolf of Wall Street, but you're just planning your budget.
That's right. Wear a bunch of suits with
Yeah,
the pants
cosplay.
that go way up high and beat on your chest.
Bro budgeting night.
And do copious amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
Quaaludes. I
But
believe.
make sure your budget accounts for
the Quaaludes.
the Quaaludes and the cocaine.
The cocaine, yes. The cocaine.
Times are tough. We might have to cut back on the vintage Quaaludes this year, boys. We're just going stimulants. Bro budgeting night.
Oh man, Quaaludes. That's I feel like if you haven't watched Wolf of Wall Street and you're not at least in your 50s, you don't know what a Quaalude is.
I've never been fortunate enough to try one. I've always wanted to.
I don't want
just
to.
for the hell of it.
Especially after watching Wolf of Wall Street, I think I'm good on shit. I don't like shit that incapacitates me.
Bro, you know that new trend? I'm microdosing Quaaludes. Just sleepy all the time.
I found these in a mint tin in my grandfather's basement.
I'm going to be just like Wolf of Wall Street.
It's the new fentanyl slump. It's the Quaalude slump.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good, I think we touched on a lot of good stuff here. Impulse control is in and of itself
it's the overarching thing.
It is. And so it really, the ultimate thing to take away from this is learn how to balance your impulses more than specifically money related things. Like learning ways to redirect your impulses or make them more productive is
because
much stronger.
If you have ADHD and impulse control problems, your finances probably aren't the only issue that you deal with relating to impulse control. So,
and this is one of the episodes I had because we had talked about it when we first brought out the ADHD iceberg, that I kind of wanted to start making episodes centered around the points below the squirrel line, which you called it, which is the more invisible parts of ADHD that a lot of people don't often address or don't really cover. Again, let me reiterate for the 10th time, we are not providing financial advice. Neither of us are good with money.
Hell no.
Don't listen to us on I'm not going to tell you where to invest. I'm not going to tell you how to invest. I'm just telling you the ways that I've gotten out of pickles with finances. These are the tips and tricks.
Yeah, it's more related to hacking your brain.
Right. And that's exactly what I want to do is we'll keep hitting some of these episodes of the points below the squirrel line. I know the relationships and marriage episode really covered a lot of them. Yeah. So if you haven't seen that and you want to know how to kind of navigate some of the hard parts of ADHD within your interpersonal relationships, we have a 2-parter episode on that. If you want to see us bust loose, we make dad blasts all the time, which is where
we love busting loose.
We just get kind of goofy with it. I don't really have anything else. If you want us to talk about a certain thing, if there's a certain thing that you struggle with or a certain thought or idea that you need help with, and you'd like 2 guys with ADHD that are in their 30s that have kind of been around the block once or twice now, send us a dadvice request. It's the dadvoicepod@gmail.com. Email us with subject line dadvice. Yep. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We'll get there eventually.
You be the director.
That's right. You direct. And I feel like this was another one of those really focused episodes. We didn't really derail too hard. We did a great job. Yeah. We didn't get too off track. I do enjoy these episodes. I also know though that we thrive when we're able to derail. Oh, yeah. So I think
my soul is wanting to.
I think next week we'll probably go into something where we can have a little more of a free fall and give ourselves that freedom, especially because I feel like anybody who has come in just recently and is only seeing the relationship and the finance, they're like, dude, these fucking squares, this is not what I signed up for.
This is boring.
I thought these guys were going to be loose cannons. I see fire on all their thumbnails,
Yeah, literally. Well, yeah, it's just like, and we're like, so how I manage my relationship is...
But yeah, if this has been beneficial for you, like I said before, like and subscribe, follow us, comment down below some struggles that you have, or if we didn't cover something that you use to help, put that in the comments too. We're not professionals at this. We just are 2 guys who impulse bought microphones, and that's how we got here. Uh-oh. So we will, you want to do dad formations real quick?
Yeah, actually, I saw a good one the other day. Let's see. Preparation is the enemy of anxiety. There you go.
Well, that's very wise. You're not the problem. It's everyone else around you. Oh, wait. That's bad advice.
Dude, I agree. Wow.
No. Hey, it's springtime. Okay. We're finally getting out of that seasonal depression slump. You're doing great. Okay. You go out, enjoy the fresh air, and realize that, the world's a shit show right now. It's not just happening to you. It's happening to everyone. But, gather around your community, get with the people that you get and that love you, and just, make the most out of those relationships, because
That is the most polite way I've ever heard anyone say, go touch grass.
Yeah, well, go touch grass too. But yeah, it's just it's getting rough out there. You know, lean into your community, meet people.
Go look at the sky or something.
Go enjoy,
not the sun.
Enjoy it before it's blocked out with smoke from bombs.
Here we go.
Yeah, all right.
We're spiraling.
We're not gonna get into that. But anyways, it's been real. It's been fun.
It's been real fun.
All right, man. Yeah, it's been real fun. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You're not my dad! We did it, Dad!
Who is my daddy? And what does he do?